Though there isn't any true free agency in college football, every year we see a bunch of players that transfer out from their current school. Now, they can leave for a variety of reasons, whether it be them not getting enough playing time, losing their starting job, or them just wanting a completely new opportunity. Now, a lot of quarterbacks this offseason transferred and switched up schools, but none will make a bigger impact than these guys right here. Before we dive into this list, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Our first quarterback definitely has the most experience. After losing his starting job last season, Jalen Hurts decided to remain at Alabama. With him likely not going to be a starter again in 2019, Hurts made the decision to transfer to Oklahoma. In his time at Alabama, Hurts had a 26-2 record as a starter. He has 2 college football playoff championship starts under his belt. On top of that, he helped Alabama win the SEC championship last year after replacing an injured Tua midway through the game. The last 2 Heisman winners have been quarterbacks from Oklahoma who transferred, and there's no reason Hurts can't be the 3rd straight. Though he doesn't have any career starts under his belt quite yet, this guy might finish with the best stats among all these quarterbacks in 2019. Justin Fields was the nation's top recruit when he committed to Georgia last year. With Jake Fromm leading things for the Bulldogs, it was time for Fields to take his talents somewhere else. He'll head to an already amazing offense under the coaching duties of Ryan Day. We saw what Day was able to do last year with Dwayne Haskins, and there's no reason Fields can't have the same results. We saw glimpses of his potential at Georgia, and he's arguably the most exciting quarterback transfer on this list. This next guy may have been forgotten about, and there's a good reason for that. After sitting out all of 2018, Jacob Eason looks ready to lead the Washington Huskies to hopefully another Pac-12 title. After losing his starting job at Georgia, Eason transferred to Washington, where he sat out for all of 2018. There's no question Eason is a better quarterback prospect than Jake Browning, and we saw what Browning was able to do. As a freshman, Eason threw for 2,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. If he can improve on those numbers, as well as his accuracy, the Huskies can make a serious run in 2019. Pretty much so far, all of these schools have kind of been connected one way or another, and we're going to connect the dots with our next one. With Justin Fields heading to Ohio State, backup Tate Martell decided to transfer to Miami. Although brief, Martell looked good when he was on the field at Ohio State. It's year 1 of the Manny Diaz era in Miami, and Martell has the chance to make the Hurricanes the most exciting team in the ACC. After seeing his former team win a national championship last year, Kelly Bryant decided to head to a team that won't be competing for a national championship. And no, it's not because Missouri's not good enough to compete. Well, actually that may be the case as well. Kelly Bryant heads to Missouri where they're currently on a 2-year postseason ban. Bryant threw for 2,800 yards and 13 touchdowns in 2017, but his value really came in the run game. He rushed for 11 touchdowns in 2017 as well. Now, Kelly Bryant does have big shoes to fill, replacing Drew Lock, who will likely be a first-round draft pick in the upcoming draft. But with absolutely nothing to lose and a chip on his shoulder, look out for big numbers from Kelly Bryant and the Missouri Tigers this upcoming season. Now, staying on Clemson, Hunter Johnson was actually at the helm before Kelly Bryant took the starting job from him. Johnson was the number 2 pro-style quarterback in 2017, and he heads to a Northwestern team that has won 19 games over the last 2 years. With him being the highest ranked quarterback prospect in the Pat Fitzgerald era, look for Northwestern to make another run at a Big Ten title. Now, not having to move too far, Shane Buechele decided to stay in state. After being the starting quarterback for Texas his freshman year, Buechele lost his starting job to Sam Ehlinger and decided to transfer to SMU. During his freshman year, Buechele looked as if he was one of the best freshman quarterbacks in the country, throwing for 21 touchdowns and 3,000 yards. Now, SMU has historically struggled over the years, having made only 4 bowl games since 1985. I expect Buechele to lead the Mustangs to at least a 6-win season, and potentially their first 8-win season since 2011. Now, after Mackenzie Milton went down with a gruesome injury, we knew the national champions would be in desperate need of a quarterback. Enter Brandon Wimbush. Just like Buechele, Wimbush was a full-time starter in 2017. While at Notre Dame, he threw for 1,900 yards and 16 touchdowns, and he also added 800 yards and 14 touchdowns on the ground. With Wimbush at the helm, expect UCF to make yet another national title push. Our final quarterback on this list was a starter in 2017 as well. Josh Jackson enjoyed a breakout season with Virginia Tech in 2017, but he struggled with injuries as a redshirt sophomore and opted to leave the Hokies. He had 20 touchdown passes and 3,000 yards in 2017, along with 6 rushing touchdowns. If Jackson can figure things out and return to his 2017 form, the Terps can be a sneaky team this year in the Big Ten. So as I mentioned, there were a lot of quarterbacks that transferred this offseason, but these are the 9 that I feel will have the biggest impact on their brand new team. Leave a comment below who you think is going to leave the biggest impact, or who you're most excited to see this upcoming season. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I post a lot of college football content here, so if you're a college football fan, this is definitely the channel for you. This has been Blake, and I will see you guys in the next video.